I knew the teenage girl living next door wasn't actually his daughter when I saw her pick up a pair of handcuffs from the kitchen counter like they were a set of car keys. It was 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, the kind of heavy, humid night where the streetlights seemed to buzz louder than the traffic. I was in my kitchen, lights off, nursing a glass of water and watching the neighborhood through the slats of my blinds. That's what I do. I watch. Some people call it prying. I call it situational awareness. In a world full of ring cameras and digital footprints, the only thing that really tells the truth is human behavior when they think no one is looking. The man, Mr. Rourke, had moved into the Colonial at 4204 3 weeks ago. He was a brick of a man, square jaw, crew cut, moved with the heavy, deliberate gravity of someone who's carried a rucksack for 20 years. The girl, who he introduced to the welcome wagon as his daughter, Maya, was a waif, pale, dark circles under her eyes, always wearing long sleeves, even in the 90-degree heat. From my window, I had a clear line of sight into their kitchen. The blinds were open just an inch. Rourke had left a set of steel cuffs on the granite island next to a carton of milk. Most kids would recoil at that. Most kids would ask why they were there. Maya didn't flinch. She picked them up, spun them around her index finger with a practiced fluid motion, and then set them down gently as Rourke walked back into the room. She looked bored. That was the first crack in the facade. Over the next week, the cracks turned into fissures. I work from home, data entry, which leaves me plenty of time to study the rhythm of the cul-de-sac. Rourke didn't have a job, or at least he didn't commute. He spent his days fortifying. I watched him install heavy-duty deadbolts on the interior doors, not the front door, the bedroom doors, specifically the door to the room Maya slept in. I saw him nailing reinforced brackets into the window frames on the second floor. He told old Mrs. Gable he was worried about burglars. But you don't put security bars on the inside of the glass if you're worried about people breaking in. You put them there if you're worried about someone breaking out. My gut twisted. I've seen enough true crime documentaries to know the signs. The isolation, the control, the physical barriers. I started logging their schedule. 08 a.m. Rourke does a perimeter check of the yard. 0:15 a.m. Breakfast. Maya eats alone. Rourke stands by the sink, watching her. He never sits. 12 p.m. Yard time. He lets her out back, but he stands on the porch with his arms crossed. She just walks in circles, head down, muttering to herself. It was the muttering that got to me. I bought a directional microphone online, a cheap parabolic dish marketed for bird watchers. I set it up on my patio, aimed right at the fence line between our properties. Thursday afternoon, she was out there pacing. I put on my headphones. The audio was fuzzy, mixed with the sound of a lawnmower 3 streets over, but her voice cut through. She wasn't talking to herself. She was reciting numbers. 4, 7, 2, 1. The angle is wrong. Too much bone density. Need sharper steel. 4, 7. It sounded like a trauma response. Dissociation. My blood boiled. This guy, this Rourke, was keeping her prisoner. He was a captor hiding in plain sight, playing the role of the strict single father while he ran some kind of dungeon next to my begonias. I debated calling the police, but what did I have? A guy locking his doors? A girl muttering numbers? Rourke looked like the kind of guy who had friends on the force. If I called it in and they just knocked on the door, he'd talk his way out of it, and then he'd take it out on her. Or worse, he'd move her somewhere I couldn't see. No, I needed proof, or I needed to get her out. The opportunity came 3 nights later. A massive thunderstorm rolled in, knocking out the power grid for the whole block. The street plunged into darkness. No street lights, no porch lights, just the strobe light flashes of lightning and the roar of rain hammering the asphalt. I was watching from the window. I saw the beam of a flashlight moving in their house, then shouting. I grabbed the parabolic mic, aiming it through the rain. "Sit down," I said. "Sit down, Maya." Rourke's voice, booming. "It's dark, Daddy. I don't like the dark," she replied. Her voice was mocking, high-pitched, almost baby-like. It didn't match the sullen girl I'd seen in the yard. Then a crash, the sound of glass shattering. "Back away from the door," Rourke screamed. That was it. I couldn't stand by anymore. I grabbed a tire iron from my garage, heavy, cold steel, and pulled on my raincoat. I slipped out the back door, hugging the shadows of the hedges. The rain was deafening, which was good. It masked my footsteps as I crossed the property line.
I crept up to their back porch. The sliding glass door was shattered, jagged teeth of glass hanging in the frame. Rourke was inside, his flashlight beam swinging wildly. He was facing the hallway, his back to me. I stepped through the broken door, glass crunching under my boots. "Hey!" I shouted, raising the tire iron. Rourke spun around, blinding me with the flashlight. Get out of here right now!" "You idiot, you have no idea." From the darkness of the hallway, a shape launched itself at him. It was Maya, but she didn't move like a victim. She moved like a spider, low and impossibly fast. She tackled Rourke, driving him into the kitchen island. The flashlight skittered across the floor, spinning, casting wild, rotating shadows against the walls. I froze. I should have helped her. I should have swung the tire iron at him. But something stopped me.
Rourke wasn't fighting back like an abuser. He was fighting for his life. He was gasping, trying to pin her arms, but she was thrashing with a strength that didn't make sense for her frame. "Run!" Rourke choked out, looking at me. Blood was streaming down his forehead. "Run, you moron!" Maya grabbed a ceramic mixing bowl from the counter and brought it down on Rourke's head with a sickening thud. He crumbled. He hit the floor and didn't move. Silence rushed back into the room, filled only by the sound of the rain outside. Maya stood over him, breathing heavily. She slowly turned to look at me. In the strobe of the lightning, I saw her face. The fear was gone. The sullenness was gone. Her eyes were wide, dilated, and she was smiling. Not a happy smile, a smile of pure, predatory curiosity. "You have a tire iron," she said. Her voice was calm, conversational. I gripped the metal bar tighter, my knuckles white. I came to help you. I thought he was hurting you." She tilted her head, looking at Rourke's unconscious body. She nudged him with her foot. "He was annoying, strict, always with the schedules. Strict, strict, strict." She stepped toward me. I took a step back. "Are you okay?" I asked, my voice trembling. The narrative in my head was collapsing. This wasn't a rescue. This was something else. "I am now," she said. She looked at the tire iron again. "Can I have that?" "No." She giggled. It was a dry, scratching sound. "Okay, I'll find something else." She walked past me. She didn't run for the door to escape. She walked to the knife block on the counter. "Wait," I said. "We need to call the police." She pulled out a chef's knife. The lightning flashed again, illuminating the blade. "Police are boring. They put me in the van with Rourke. Rourke was a U.S. Marshal. Did you know that? He was very proud of his badge." The world dropped out from under me. A marshal. The bars on the windows, the handcuffs, the perimeter checks.
He wasn't keeping a victim in. He was keeping a monster caged. "He was transporting you," I whispered.
Witness protection?
"No," she mused, testing the edge of the knife with her thumb. "More like indefinite detention. I'm a high-risk asset. That's what the doctor called me. I notice things, like you." She turned fully toward me now. The knife was low at her side. "You watch us," she said. "I see you in the window. You drink water from a blue cup. You write on a computer. You're lonely. Stay back," I warned, raising the iron. "You broke the glass," she said softly. "You distracted him. He looked at you, and that gave me the opening. Thank you, neighbor." She wasn't going to attack me. I realized it with a jolt of cold terror. I wasn't prey to her. I was a tool. I had served my purpose. "I'm going to go now," she said, walking toward the broken sliding door. "Don't follow me. I run very fast." "You can't just leave. He's bleeding." I pointed to Rourke. "He's dead," she said casually, stepping out into the rain. I felt his neck snap when he hit the counter. "You have good hearing, neighbor. You should have heard it." She paused at the threshold, the rain soaking her instantly. She looked back over her shoulder, her wet hair plastering to her face. "Don't worry. I won't tell anyone you helped me kill a federal agent. Our little secret." Then she vanished into the storm. I stood there for a long time. I looked down at Rourke. I checked his pulse. Nothing. His wallet had fallen out during the scuffle. I opened it. A badge. United States Marshal Service, Special Operations Group. And behind the badge, a folded piece of paper, a transport order. Prisoner, Maya K. Class, Level 5 Psychopathy, S risk. Do not engage verbally.
Do not break visual contact. Restraints mandatory at all times. I looked at the open sliding door. The rain was blowing in, soaking the floor where I stood.
I was holding the murder weapon, my tire iron, and I was the only witness. I went home. I wiped the tire iron down with bleach and buried it in the bottom of my toolbox. I sat in the dark and waited for the power to come back on. When the police finally arrived the next morning, called by a jogger who saw the body through the broken door, I told them I saw nothing. I told them I slept through the storm. I'm still watching, though. But I don't look at the neighbors anymore. I watch the woods behind my house. Because sometimes, late at night, when the wind blows just right, I hear it. 4, 7, 2, 1. She's still out there, and she knows where I live.